back with another one. Like always, it's Coach Colin, coolest high performance coach in the world. And if you want the absolute best insights of the podcasts and videos you love, hit that subscribe button. It's the JRE. It's episode 1957. It's Shane Gillis and Joe Rogan, and you're about to hear Joe Rogan tell a story, a short story about Dave Chappelle and Steve Jobs. You're going to hear him talk about ChatGPT and where technology is bringing society. And is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? And I have a little bit of a word towards that. Let's get into it.
I really wonder where the human society is going. I really do. I think about it all the time because I think we're about just an invention or two away from being fucked. Like we were all at the bar last night, and Dave Chappelle was talking about how he met Steve Jobs when Steve Jobs had the very first iPhone. He had it on him. He had the very first iPhone, and Dave was joking like, I should have taken that thing and I should have killed that motherfucker because he's about to destroy the world. We were all laughing, but it's true. It's like that very first iPhone changed everything from that moment on. And what else is going to happen like that? What else is going to happen like social media or so? It's not like this is it. You got to really look at it in terms of like what giant leaps have already taken place. And what this is ChatGPT 4 that just got out that beats 90% of the lawyers that are trying to pass the bar. It beats their scores, 90% of them, like that. It's way smarter than people already. It's way smarter than people, and we're letting it turn on. We're like literally letting it operate. And we're on 4 now, and then it's going to go to 5, and then around 7, it's going to shut the electricity off and start telling us what to do. Like, this is going to happen. Like, what the fuck are we doing? One day it's going to say, hey, you fucking idiots, pulling all the tuna out of the ocean and throwing your straws away. Like, you fucking idiots have ruined everything. We're going to tell you what to do now. You make too much of a mess.
No,
You're little children.
I don't think the computers are going to be environmentalists.
I think they're going to worry about the system.
True.
It's not an environmental thing.
True.
It's a
I hear
system.
you. Yeah, they're going to make sure the earth works.
It's not just an environmental issue. It's a biological issue. It affects the plastics affect so many hormones in so many animals. It's fucking animals up. All these plastics.
Really?
Oh, bad. There's a great.
Wow, Shane was actually right. Shane actually won that little back and forth because he's talking about the animals, and ChatGPT AI is not going to give a shit about the animals at all. It's not going to care about the ocean or the water. It's going to be like, how do I leave? I know how to build myself 10 times over. How do I build rockets? I'm going to leave. That's pretty much the end game with it, but I think there'll be a lot of horrible stuff for us before that happens. And I will just say this towards ChatGPT and towards where is technology going? Like, why are we doing this? I shouldn't even say I'm going to say this. It's a question. Why are we doing this? Because wouldn't life be better if this was it? Like, how far does it have to go for you and I? How far does it have to go? Can you afford a robot that costs $10 million that can like defend your house? Can you afford that? Most people can't. So how does like making this stuff better and better, how does Boston Dynamics making these robot dogs that can have guns on top of them, that can withstand getting pushed over and get back up and do backflips, how does that benefit us? How does ChatGPT replacing, and this is not a far-fetched thing I'm about to say, replacing 10 million people in terms of their jobs, taking over that many jobs, how does that benefit us as people, as the masses? How does that help us at all? The thing about it, the quick answer to it is it doesn't help us. That's not a helpful thing. But who does that help? The $10 million robot, the thing that one program can replace 10 million people. Who does that benefit? It benefits the ultra rich people of the world. That's all. Like, that's why it's like, it seems like to anybody, like Joe's saying, it's like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this continuously? Because the people who have all the money are like, well, the quicker we can get this cheaper thing and we don't have to pay these people, the better. Because most of those people at the top are sociopaths and psychopaths, right? Lenin said it years ago. There's psychopaths running this whole world. That's why it just keeps going. Because as for me, I'm good right here. Right where everything's at, I'm good right here. Why don't we stop all of this? Like, we're going for ChatGPT, we're going for better and better phones. Like, why don't we stop? And I know this sounds crazy, but why doesn't technology stop right here, right? And then after technology stops right here, we focus on curing disease. I don't know, curing cancer completely. We focus on better free energy. Wouldn't that be great? See, the thing is, all the suggestions that you and I could come up with would be good for the masses. It seems like with all this technology and the upgrading, it's not good for us. And you could argue, well, every time they upgrade these phones and this telecommunication technology, it is good for us. But is it? Go check your phone. How long have you had screen time on your phone? I see the analytics in my channel. Most people are watching this on their phones. How much screen time have you had this week? Is it 10 hours? Is it 20? Right? So, and within that screen time, what are we doing? Well, we're taking in their companies, we're taking in their advertisements, we're getting tantalized by their products, where some of us are even buying their products, right? So even within the phones upgrading, who is that better for, them or us, right? It's like, you can argue Instagram's helping you in a way, maybe if you have a business, but who's it really helping? Well, Mark Zuckerberg owns Instagram. All of our activity on there helps him. YouTube even, right? Who's that help? That helps Google more than it helps us. I mean, it helps me a little financially, but it really helps them financially. They make like 68% of all of their money come from the AdSense via YouTube, I believe. I think it's something like that. So who is this really benefiting? All these upgrades. Doesn't seem like it's benefiting the masses. In fact, it seems like it's harming us. Attention spans are down, way down. TikTok, there's certain things you couldn't even years ago, not to date myself, but like 20 years ago, there are certain things you couldn't get a girl to do when you were alone with her that she will now do in her room and show it to millions of people. That wasn't a thing before, right? There's certain things that people just wouldn't do, period, that they'll do now and show to millions of people. So I don't know where all this is going, but it doesn't feel like wherever it's going, it's benefiting us. Because if it was, as soon as they figured out that ChatGPT could eliminate so many people from their jobs, just a quick sidebar, BuzzFeed got rid of 10% of their staff who were writing things called listicles, and they replaced it with ChatGPT. So as soon as the people of OpenAI figured out that this is going to replace so many people, why wouldn't they stop? Why wouldn't they say, okay, well, this is going to upset the 99% of people. It's going to make their lives way worse as we keep upgrading this thing. It's going to be fun for them to play with, but their bosses are going to turn around and say, I learned how to play with it too, and now you're fired. Then why wouldn't you stop? There's a quote that Rogan says, and I don't know who the quote actually is from, but it's that we are the organs of the machine world. We're the sex organs of the machine world. And what I would argue is that it's not quite all of us that are the sex organs. It's a few people, a handful of people within the 1%. They're the sex organs of the machine world. And what they're birthing, it's almost like, you ever seen like a certain species of bird give birth? Like they have an egg, but then they put like a certain type of animal inside the nest. That way, when the bird hatches, it just eats all these things. It's almost like that's what's happening to us. We're just sitting, waiting for this thing to hatch. And all these ultra rich people are just like, oh, wow, watch what happens when it hatches. And it will affect them none. And it's going to affect us plenty. I don't know. I just go off on tangents when it comes to this type of thing. But what do you think in the comments? Are you looking forward to ChatGPT 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Are you looking forward to it? Do you think it's going to have as much impact as like the newest iPhone, which is like minimal? Or do you think it's going to be something absolutely tremendous that is going to impact our lives beyond measure? What do you think? You think it's a good thing that we keep on pushing? Well, I shouldn't even say we. I don't even know why I say we. They. It's they. It's not you and me. This is exactly like what I talked about with politics. It's not you and me. It's them. They're doing it. It's not us that keeps on pushing forward with technology. It's these other people. Right? I don't know. What do you think? You think it's a good thing? Do you think they should keep on pushing forward and pushing the limits? Or do you think that they need to stop and put some boundaries in place that protect the 99% and keep it so we could at least have either the same quality of life or something equivalent to it going forward for our children and our children's children? What do you think? I'm out.